Now together we're going to bring out this guy. Please welcome, he's Iowa's biggest comedian, Chris Wilcox.
Okay, just so you know, if there's any way I could have come busting through that brick wall, I guess you should also know that if I had one freaking bit of personal integrity, I'd have never worn this shirt in public. Hi, I'm Chris. Actually, my full name is Christopher David Peter Wilcox, and I was raised and confirmed in the Catholic Church. And the church, they never told me what to do with that extra name. I don't want to not use it. I don't want to go to hell. So until I hear different, I'm just going to consider it's my Catholic duty to slip the Peter. I'm also a middle child, and you know what they say about the middle child. The middle child is always a peacemaker and lacks focus. I'm also a middle child, you know what they say about the middle child. The middle child's always a peacemaker and lacks focus. I'm telling you, this being raised Catholic and middle child has given me some issues. And if you, there's no way to live your life, I'll tell you that, but if you think I've got issues, you should see what I've done to my kids. I have 3 kids. I have 21-year-old twins and a 10-year-old. Sometimes when I'm talking to my wife, I like to affectionately refer to my 10-year-old as, I thought you were using protection. I guess that's what I get for all that Catholic Peter slipping business, isn't it? Whenever you tell people you have twins, the first thing they always ask you is, are they boys or girls? And we have one of each, so I'll tell them that. And then it never fails. Right after I tell them we have one of each, they say, oh, are they identical? The only way I've ever been able to answer that is I look them right in the eye and I say, yeah, they're identical. They're both a pain in the ass. Actually, my twins couldn't be more different. Well, first there's that penis and vagina thing. That's significant. But it's more than that, actually. My family should be in one of those twin studies. You know, if you look at my family, my wife is a power attorney. She's very driven and focused. And my daughter is very driven and focused. She's on a full-ride scholarship at the University of London. And then there's me. I'm up here trying to learn how to earn a living telling fart jokes. And my son wants to follow my footsteps. Yeah, forget the full-ride scholarship. That kid would be lucky to get a ride to the bus station. Sometimes my wife likes to refer to us as Dumb and Dumber. So, I don't know. You know, I recently moved here from Iowa. And I've learned a lot about cultural diversity since I got out here. In Iowa, I went to one of the biggest high schools in the whole state, and we only had 1 black kid in the whole school. In September, I dropped my son off for his first day of school, and he might have been the only white kid. It's like we moved to opposite world or something, you know? So I've been around, I know my way around the streets and stuff. I'm kind of a hip dad, so I thought I'd coach my son on some hip urban vernacular, you know, and help him fit in at school. I told him, I said, son, if something really cool happens at school, you just need to step up and say, Dynamite! I told him, I said, if you hear some slang that you don't know what it is, you just need to say, what you talking about, Willis? I thought that'd help him fit in, but it hasn't worked out that way. Has been a total waste of time, though, because my son and I have got to bond as we drive to and from that court-ordered cultural diversity class that we're taking care of the county. So, I suppose probably what put it over the top, though, was when I told him, I said, if anybody's trying to make you out to be a fool, you need to hit him in the bag with your book bag, hit him in the head with your book bag, and say, homie, don't play that. So, I miss some things about Iowa. Back in Iowa, we lived in a neighborhood with 1 million kids, and we had a huge backyard. And all my youngest son's friends used to like to come over and hang out and play games. And I like to be active in the kids' life, so I go out and join them a lot of times. And so anyway, their favorite game was hide and seek. That pretty much sucked for me, because like... the kids knew it too, and I hated them because they'd say, oh good, Mr. Wilcox is playing, he's always easy to find. I got my revenge though. Right before we moved out here, I'd loaded up the U-Haul and called all the neighborhood kids for one last game. As soon as they started counting, I jumped in the U-Haul and we moved to Virginia. Pretty much kicking their ass this time, I think. Thanks, everybody. That's my time.